Over a couple of months now, 3D NFTs has really been in trend. So my friend, if you've been wanting to create your own 3D NFT, you're on the right video. So first, before we get into this video, I'll urge you to please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy NFT kinds of content, as I'm about to reach my goal of 30 subscribers. So now you subscribe, let's get straight into the video. To create these 3D models, we need some sort of software, some sort of like 3D modeling software, and that's where Blender comes in. See, Blender is actually free 3D or let's say 2D modeling software. This Blender is basically or mostly used by professionals. It's good and it's of course free. So to get this Blender, you can go over to the official site blender.org. I'm also going to link it down in the description so we can easily get to the site and download it. So now once you have Blender downloaded, let's continue with the video. So now you want to actually open up Blender. As you can see, I'm using Blender version 3.1.2. So now to get rid of this box, you want to click outside it and you're going to be presented with this default cube in Blender. To delete this, you're going to click on X on your keyboard and you can actually get this out of the way. Simply click X and click on delete, but I'm going to bring in this back because I needed to show you the easy shortcuts you can use in Blender. So to move around, you can use the middle mouse button, which is the scroll wheel, and to drag this box or anything around, click G on the keyboard and you can actually pull or push this anywhere in 3D space. To rotate, you click on R and you can rotate this. To scale, you click on S and you can drag this up to maximum or minimum. So now we're going to be deleting this cube. We don't actually need it anymore. We're going to click the same X on your keyboard, click X and click delete. So now let's get started with actual modeling. 3D NFTs can be in any form, can be in form of human also, cars, or even animals. So actually for this video, I'm going to making a 3D pencil with an eye. So now let's create the pencil. So first you want to click on add at the top bar over here and you want to click on mesh and cylinder. So now we have our cylinder. We want to scale this up so it's actually long, just like a pencil. So I'm going to use the shortcut. I can actually go to the toolbar right here and click on scale. I'm going to drag this up, so I think this is perfect. So now I'm going to making the tip of the pencil, just the same method. I'm going to click on add one more time, click on mesh and click on cone. I'm going to drag this out and rotate it until it sits perfectly straight. Make sure to take your time so I actually get it right, or you can watch Blender tutorials if you want to be pro model artist in Blender. So I'm going to make this sit right, give it okay. So now I'm going to put this right under the pencil. So I'm going to drag this and place it right under the pencil. You want to make sure it's perfectly aligned because Blender could be really tricky with its view. So you want to make sure it's perfectly aligned. Check all its sides to make sure it perfectly sits where you want it to. So I'm going to make sure this stays perfectly aligned to the pencil's body. As you can see, really tricky. So I think it should be looking better now. Yeah, I think that's better. So now I'm going to add the pencil eraser ring, you know, that thing which holds the pencil. So I'm going to click on add, click on add mesh and add another cylinder to this. I'm going to drag this out and I'm going to scale this down a little bit. I'm going to place it right on top of the pencil. One more time, be sure it's perfectly aligned so you don't actually have any mistakes or rough areas coming out or sticking out of the pencil. So I'm going to scale this a little bit so it stays out of the initial body of the pencil. So I think this is perfect. Yeah, this is great. So now I want to add the eraser. I want to click on add one more time, mesh, add another cylinder to this. I'm going to click cylinder and I'm going to drag this out Then I'm going to place it right on top of the pencil. Be sure to make sure, or let's say be sure it's perfectly aligned so you can have a perfect model. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit here, and I'm going to drag this up. Yeah, I think it's looking better now. Nope, it's out. That's why I say Blender is really tricky with its view. I want to make sure everything is perfect just the way you want it. Just take your time. With time you're gonna get used to this. So I'm gonna line this up perfectly. Yeah. So now we have our pencil ready. Let's create. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. Yeah, I think it looks better like this. So now we have our pencil ready. Let's create the eye, which we're gonna stick in front of this pencil. So first I'm gonna click on add, click on mesh, and then UV sphere. I'm gonna drag this out and scale this a little bit. I'm gonna make this a little bit more bigger. Okay, you can use the shortcut S to scale. So now I want to add one more sphere. Click on mesh, click on UV sphere. I'm going to drag this out using the command G, and then scale this up a little bit. Make sure it's smaller than the first one. I want to drag this and stick it to the front of the first sphere which we created. Yeah, I want to make sure it's the perfect size. So now we're going to be creating the eyelid for this eye. First, let me position this properly. I want to make sure it sits where you actually want them to. So I think that's perfect. So let's create the eyelid. First, add another UV sphere, and now you want to scale up the sphere. Okay, I think this is perfect. So now I want to switch to edit mode. You can use tab on your keyboard, or you can actually change it up here. Then I want to select half of this sphere. It's going to take a couple of minutes, so I'm going to quickly speed up this video, and I'll be back once I have totally selected even half of this sphere.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade.
First select, I want to click on X and delete faces. Now I want to delete the other remains of the spheres which was deleted. Just the same process, select and hit X and click on faces. So you want to make sure you have a clean cut with no disturbance. So I'm going to leave this way, not going to actually affect it. So now I want to switch back to object mode. Here you want to drag this eyelid right on top the sphere which you placed in front of it. You want to make sure it's perfectly sit on the sphere without any, let's say, slightly comes out. You want to make sure it's perfectly aligned. So I think this is perfect. So now I want to select all, and I'm going to scale this down a little bit using the S on your keyboard. I'm going to scale this down to perfect size so it actually matches with the pencil which we previously created. So you want to drag this and place it in front of the pencil until you're satisfied with what you have. So here I'm just making sure the eye sits perfectly with the pencil, so it doesn't look like the eye is bigger than the pencil or the eyes maybe overscaled. So you have to make sure it matches with the pencil. You can actually create other models. It doesn't actually be like actually a pencil and eye. You can create animals, cars, buildings, even human shapes. So I think this is looking perfect already. So now I think it's time we should add a background to this because NFTs need backgrounds. I'm gonna click on add, click on mesh and plane. Now I'm gonna rotate this 90 degrees so it sits perfectly in shape. So I'm going to rotate this using the arrow button and make sure it's enlarged. Now I'm going to scale this up so it covers the entire pencil. Now I'm simply going to drag this back so it sits right behind the pencil, just like a background should be. Now I'm going to make this more bigger so it covers the entire part of the pencil. So I think this is perfect. You can see, looking good. So now basically we have all the shapes we need. So let's start adding colors to this. I'm going to start with the eraser. You want to click on it, click on this little icon down here, click on new, and the base color right here. You want to choose any color of your choice. So I'm going to make this red. So the color is there, but it's not going to show up until you click on this icon, and now we can actually see the colors. So now let's go ahead adding colors to the rest of the shapes. Just the same process. Click on new, base color, select any color of your choice, and now you can see the yellow showing. So we're going to add for the base of the pencil. New, I'm going to click on base color, I'm going to click on selected color of choice. Now I'm going to add for the cone, click on new, then select the color. This is actually the same process. You keep going and keep going until you have all the colors you want selected. Be sure to add colors to the background too, because you don't want it looking all white, unless you actually want a white background. So I'm going to speed this up and I'll be back when I'm done with all the colors placed.
Try to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.
So you can actually adjust the light source, click on it, and you can actually drag it around depending on where you want the light to come from, or you can actually add more light source. You can click on add, and you can see here we have 4 different light sources which you can actually add to this. So now I want to actually delete the camera. We don't need this yet because it's going to be hard to start aligning this camera in perfect position. Now we're going to be adding another camera. I want to click on add. I want to scroll down to camera, and you can see we have the camera already set up. So now on your keyboard, you want to click on Ctrl Alt Numpad 0, and you're going to have this screen from the camera which can actually adjust its focal length. So we can make this closer, can take it farther away, can actually shift the camera. This is the view of how your NFT is going to look like when it's already exported. You can actually move this left, right, up, down using this X and Y axis. So I'm going to move this down until it's perfectly aligned so the eraser is not cut off. So I think this is perfect. So now I want to click on render right to the top, render image, and it's going to bring up a new window. So this is the image, how it's going to look like after exporting. So now I want to click on image and save. I'm going to give this a name in your folder directory. So I'm going to quickly give mine a simple name, easy to remember. So now once you have the name, I want to click on save image, and your image is going to be saved. So now let's quickly check if our image is there. So we're going to quickly go to photos, and we're going to see our NFT right here. You can see pencilman.png. Sorry for that, really sorry, OBS has been acting up lately. So you can see our NFT is rendered successfully. So now I'm going to go over to OpenSea and create a new item. Now I want to select the image which is just exported from Blender, fill up the NFT details, and save this. And now you have your NFT ready on OpenSea. You can also check out my video on how to mint NFTs for free. If this video helped you, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this video. It really helps me a lot. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.